guys, Ralph here, and welcome to True Power Trumpet Fitness on this fabulous Friday of Super Bowl week. Shout out to our guys from Las Vegas, Perico, Delibra, and Pirello, who are just killing it out in Sodom and Gomorrah, which is Super Bowl week in Las Vegas. God bless them. Anyway, yeah, you saw the thumbnail, hyper-irradiation. Guys, I had to do something else on this. I really did. I got a bunch of stuff planned, which I'll save for next week. But I really have to get to this because the transformation and everything, which happened in just the last couple days, amazing. All right? So let me honk a little bit. First notes of the day. My cleaning lady came this morning, so I got out of Dodge. So I haven't played a note. I have done 300 swings, 310. Okay? So we will take it from there. Let me honk and we'll talk about hyperradiation. Centered and clean. Guys, I'm not kidding. If you could have heard it yesterday, you'd think it was two different trumpet players. Locked in. Orange, banana, main, orange, and spinach. If I could be on a deserted banana island. Anyway, hyperradiation. Now, I had the really weird day yesterday, as I told you about. For those of you that haven't watched a couple things, I have been trying, from here, my goal physically, which has to do with the other channel more than this, is to drop some weight and get into some competitive running by the summer. Okay? With that said, to drop weight, I don't have a lot of excess fat to drop. I really don't. So I felt like in order to let the body, sort of weird term, in order to let the body cannibalize the muscle that I have built up over the years, I've added at least 25 pounds of muscle since I started doing the kettlebell. Okay? I decided to go cut back to nothing on the kettlebell and just do SFE and all that sort of stuff. Now, 2 days I did no kettlebell at all. And everything was fine. Or I thought so. Or I thought it was fine. Okay? E flats, E's, F's, G's above double C, control, not overblowing. Everything felt great. Until yesterday. I used the term, it felt like I got punched in the mouth. If I had decided to do the first notes of the day, I would have been humiliated if you could have heard what I sounded like. What the heck was going on? Now, I knew, in theory, what was going on, but I still played about 10 minutes of happy zone and all this sort of stuff to try to make it come around on its own. Nothing. It was getting worse, and I had nothing to begin with. I immediately did 20 minutes of kettlebell, and the next time I touched the trumpet, it felt infinitely better, and in 10 minutes, my chops were back. Okay? Now, I did a nice long session with kettlebells, SFE, and practicing. But right there was the first notes of the day. So I didn't know how they were going to respond. And guys, they feel great. If I had to play a job tonight, I would have no problem. Quintet, symphony, lead, doesn't matter. Solo, I could play the Haydn. So here we are. And guys, as you saw the pictures, Lynn Nicholson, Cat Anderson, Harry James, Maynard, guys, all of them. Here's the deal. The reason I do kettlebells in the first place, guys, is because I realized the compression and everything that I got from kettlebell was the same thing I felt when I'm playing high notes on the trumpet. All right? Now, in order, I brought this into the whole protocol because I wanted you guys to get that feel too. Now, over time, I have incorporated, as you know, the kettlebell into my actual practice. Play a little bit, spit buzz, play a little bit, kettlebell, play a little bit, spit buzz for 2 hours, an hour, whatever I'm going to play. So, I didn't know how much I was depending on it. But guys, the whole point of hyperradiation, it's a kettlebell term that you are using, well, it's not necessarily just kettlebell, but it's in the fitness industry term, that you are incorporating many different muscle groups to do one thing, one athletic endeavor or weightlifting endeavor. Okay? Now, I always use this as an example. If you were going to try, I don't care how strong you are. I don't care if you have Arnold Schwarzenegger bulging arms, which are not necessarily the strongest arms, but anyway. And you wanted to do a pull-up, and you relaxed every single part of your body except your arms, you couldn't budge. I don't care how strong you are, you couldn't budge. You tighten up your core, you tighten up your lats, you tighten up your shoulders, squeeze the bar like it's the last thing on earth, your life support. You squeeze the bar, you're incorporating all these muscles, you're knocking them off like a piston. Why? You have increased your strength by incorporating different muscles to take the stress off, in this case the arms, the ones that are actually doing the work. Now, in our case, we're taking the stress off the lips. And guys, for the life of me, I didn't know how much I was actually depending on that to get the increased performance. Now, I told you, I've done several videos over the year. It just keeps getting better. It's the 1SB mouthpiece. Yes, that's true, but it's the 1SB mouthpiece. Lots of things going on in the protocol. But while I was doing that, I was incorporating it into the practice. I was getting stronger and stronger as I was doing it, and it transferred into the trumpet. All of a sudden, you take that away, and even though I didn't initially, there was no drop in performance, I didn't have the same hyperradiation to offset what I was doing to my chops. Offset what was ultimately doing to my chops. Now, Lynn Nicholson, Cat Anderson, Doc Severinsen, guys, he was working out towards the end. If you watch his documentary, he gives so much of his success in the last several years to his workouts. Okay? Perico, Perello, DeLibra, all those guys. Guys, they have it innately without, none of those guys do kettlebell. Maurice doesn't do kettlebell. He doesn't show up at Carnegie Hall with his piccolo trumpet and a kettlebell. Okay? But they are doing it naturally. And for us, those of us that do not use it naturally, guys, we have to get the incredible results, you have to incorporate that. And for that reason, guys, I'm going to suggest you get the KBs for double Cs. Okay? But guys, listen to me. It's a how-to book for two moves. The deadlift and the kettlebell swing. Guys, you have to let me help you. It doesn't care what the book is. Now, the book is going to explain how PNF and everything works into that of the trumpet, even more than I'm doing here. But guys, it is so important. You are leaving performance on the floor. You just are. If you're not incorporating that hyperradiation, and if you don't have it innately, like our idols all do, you have to get it somewhere else. To my way of thinking, it's the best way to get is the kettlebells. Now, I thought for a long time, and before I started doing kettlebells, I did the SFE only, and that helped. That absolutely helped, but it's not the same. And that is the exact same thing which lets all my athletes run faster, jump higher. A senior citizen like myself throw 90 miles an hour. Go out and get a gun, radar gun. Go out and just throw a few baseballs around, just for the heck of it, against the chain link fence. See what you're coming in at. 47, 53. To get 90 miles an hour, guys, you are compressing. You are compressing, or you're blowing your arm out, which they all do. All right? All right. I got to get back to eating. I'm starved. Anyway, guys, have a good weekend. Watch the Super Bowl. I have vegan tacos and tortillas all ready to go. Maybe I'll do maybe I will do a video on that on the other channel. The recipe. It's simple. I don't need the whole video. Look, refried beans, salsa, put together, mix it up, heat it up. If you want to put vegan cheese in there, you do it. And then you have some salsa, chopped up lettuce, chopped up tomatoes, and put it in a taco bun or a tortilla wrap. Bada bing, bada boom. You can get all of those ingredients, except for the refried beans, all for no fat. And the refried beans are 1.5% fat per serving. It's nothing. Healthy, great for you. All right, guys, I've talked enough. Have a great weekend. I'm already having a great weekend. Love you all.